And we are live. Good morning, everybody. It's your favorite truck driver, ex-truck driver in the whole wide world. It's Bitcoin Ben. I slept hard last night, folks, hence the lines from my sleeping machine. Helps me not snore and actually helps me let my wife sleep. And the dogs and the cat. Today, folks, we have two shows. Right? We have the first show. Now, the first show is we're going to talk about BLACKROCK. And we're going to talk about Sam Altman. Sam Altman is the CEO of OpenAI. But we're going to go a little bit deeper. And we're going to see who owns OpenAI, who funded it, and what was the purpose of creating OpenAI. Oh, my friends. Oh, it's so interesting. Do you know what Sam Altman's full name is? Sam Harris Altman. Here's a little touch of what we're going to touch on. Remember, everything's in a name. Sam means, now this is just touching on it, right? Sam means powerful like God, right? Harris means you are God. Altman means alternative to man. So Sam Harris Altman means you are God. You have the power of God, and you are the alternative to man. You are separate from man. You are the alternative of man. Interesting. Very interesting. But I digress. Let's jump in. That comes in the second half hour of the first show here. Because there's a lot that I can't say on YouTube about that, but I'll lay it all out. Okay. Now, BLACKROCK. Everyone's wondering, where is BLACKROCK getting all of their Bitcoin? Well, let's look into it, folks. Let me share a screen real quick. Share. Oh, here we go. BLACKROCK. Oh, hang on, let me move this. Right? BlackRock is a major shareholder in 4 of the 5 largest Bitcoin miners. Interesting. By the way, did a little research. They started, right? They started actually purchasing shares of the mining companies in 2021. Let's look at what we got here. Number one, right? Oh, hang on. All right. Number one, we have Riot Platforms. Number 2, Marathon Digital Holdings. Number 3, Cipher Mining. Number 4, Hut 8 Mining Corporation. And number 5, TeraWolf. Now, has anybody happened to notice the amount that the mining difficulty has jumped in the last, I don't know, let's say month, 2 months? There has been a jump in mining hashes over the last month that are going exactly when hash is buzzing. Hash has been going through the roof. Right. BlackRock is actually purchasing the Bitcoin from all of the mining companies it owns. But they still don't have enough. Right? TJ, I saw a mysterious whale buying 500 PTC a day right now. Mysterious whales. Very interesting. See, my friends, we are in the second half hour. Wait till I get to Israel and what's going on with Israel and the Bitcoin, and who is now on the board of directors of OpenAI that was in line to be the president of the Israel National Bank. This guy was going to be the head of the Israeli National Bank. And now, just as of last week, is now on the board of directors of Sam Altman's OpenAI. My friends, and does anyone know who Reid Hoffman is? Reid Hoffman Charitable Foundation. Oh, my friends, what a tangled web we weave when we weave a tangled web. My friends, yes, Netflix. Guess who was one of the original investors in OpenAI? The not-for-profit Reid Hoffman Foundation. Now you ask, well, wait a second. Who's Reid Hoffman? And how is he? Oh, here's another little side note. Bingo. Reid Hoffman created LinkedIn, which, by the way, I am no longer available on LinkedIn. They seem to be having to verify my identity. And oddly enough, I keep verifying it, but it doesn't work. Interesting. So, hold 1 second, folks, and let's watch this.
Happened with AI. And if you've been following it, I need your help because this is super effed up. Quick speed run if you've not been paying attention. OpenAI, the company that makes ChatGPT, Sam Altman, out of the blue fired last week. There's a ton of drama here about the board and who voted to fire him and who's out. I'm not going to go into a ton of depth about it. He was fired for a few days. Microsoft offered to take him. Then, like, almost 100% of the engineers that work at OpenAI threatened to quit if they didn't bring Sam back and fire the whole board. The coup got reverse coup and Sam got brought back. Whatever. What I want to talk about is the new board of directors and how it is a huge red flag for all of humanity right now that they chose this guy and this guy. And this is the only dude from the old board that stayed on. All of this at a very important time in the evolution of AI, which we are about to cover right now. So there's been rumors in the space for a while, like this one from March. I've been told that GPT-5 is scheduled to complete training this December, meaning like right now, and that OpenAI expects it to achieve AGI, Artificial General Intelligence. AGI is very controversial. It might be the end of the human race, or it might be the dawn of a new golden era where AI solves all of our problems. We're not totally sure. It really might be that drastic. But then the plot thickened when just recently rumors started to circulate and have since mostly been confirmed about OpenAI's secret Q-Star program. And everyone has been trying to figure out why the hell did they fire Sam Altman? The board was super tight-lipped about it. There was really no reason given. The dude was loved by everyone, seeing as the whole company threatened to resign if they didn't bring him back. But just recently, he made this statement at a conference about how just recently, in the last couple of weeks, he was in the room when they sort of pushed the veil of ignorance back and the frontier of discovery forward. Like, he saw some major breakthrough in AI recently. Quick conspiracy theory side quest. Sam Altman recently started attending the Bilderberg Group like last year. You know, top secret meetings where all the most powerful people get together secretly. This year, AI was the top of their agenda. He also attended last year. I'm just going to let you read this. But anyways, back on topic. AI might have just taken a great leap forward. And this guy might have been privy to it or watched it happen or been in some way involved. And we're not sure. One thing we do know is that Elon has been stressed about this. He's been all over Twitter trying to figure out what's going on.
Okay. Elon Musk, for those of you who don't, yes, all right, hit the likes and subscribes. Folks, the more we go down this rabbit hole here, I'm telling you now, I'm not fucking with you guys. If you do not get your Liberty laptop, shit's about to hit the fan. I'm telling you now, folks, because wait till woo-woo at 3 o'clock. Wait till I show you all of this on woo-woo show today at 3. That links General Electric with the creation of the National Defense Research Committee prior to World War I. So General Electric creates an entity with the government called the National Defense Research Committee. That led to the creation of the American Research Development Corporation. The American Research and Development Corporation is the military industrial complex. Now, who ran the National Defense Research? Hang on a second. This is what I do, folks. All right. Who ran the National Defense Research Committee? But a wonderful, wonderful man named Vannevar Bush. Ever heard of Vannevar Bush? Who's Vannevar Bush, brother? The old man. The old man. George W. Bush's grandfather. I'll link it all together, folks. That led to the creation of the first ever venture capital firm. Bingo. Right? Vannevar Bush, brother, was Prescott Bush. Now, I wonder how George Bush became the head of the CIA. Gee, I wonder. Now, that led to the creation of the very first venture capital group in 1965. The name of that company was Greylock Partners, right? And who funded the very first venture capital group? But 6 families. Guess those families. Can you guess? Vanderbilt's, J.P. Morgan, Rothschilds, a few others. Bingo! Rockefeller, Rothschilds, and Wallenbergs. So they launched the very first venture capital fund in America. What did Greylock Partners roll into? Anyone want to guess? BlackRock. Weird how this all works, isn't it? How the very first venture capital group ever created eventually rolled into a company called BlackRock that now owns the majority of the world. Now, BlackRock, Ben, why does it matter? Why does it matter? Because then you ask, who owns OpenAI? Reid Hoffman's charitable foundation. Who's Reid Hoffman? Right? And who was Reid Hoffman? Reid Hoffman was the first investor in OpenAI. I'm telling you, folks, when I lay this all out, your mind is going to be blown. All right? Now, I digress.
Not sure if that's because he's trying to compete with them from a business perspective, or if he's worried that like AI might destroy the human race in the coming weeks. Maybe a bit of both. But anyways, here's where the story gets interesting. These two women down here are both effective altruists. That ringing any bells for any of y'all? Anyone remember this shitbag? But it gets confusing because this guy was a piece of shit. And so you think like two effective altruists on this board, they must be shitty too. But as far as I can tell, they were the voice of like, pump the brakes, slow down, caution on the AI, let's be careful, let's think about the ethics of this. Like, it sounds like they were super, super concerned with the ethics.
But who are these two ladies? And where else do they chair? Well, I'll be damned. These two ladies are also on the Reid Hoffman Charitable Foundation Board. Interesting. I digress.
Ethics and safety of AI, and that Sam was actually trying to push this for business and business and business. I mean, I am far from an expert on this, but at first it seems like the internet's reaction was Sam is our guy and we love him, and these horrible people just double-crossed him. Fuck them. The company did its thing. They brought Sam back. They got these guys fired because everyone threatened to walk. And at first it seemed like these were the bad people and the good guys had won. But then the new board they appointed happened. And let's quickly get this guy out of the way because it's the next guy that really matters. This guy's the former CTO of Facebook, so he's already a piece of shit. But then he was the chairman of Twitter from 2016 until Elon Musk bought it. And what that means is that he was the chairman of the board of Twitter while Twitter was being used basically as an FBI government front for FBI and CIA disinformation campaigns all up to the 2020 election and through it. And to be clear, internet, I'm not claiming that it was stolen. I'm not spreading misinformation. I'm just saying that this is a source from the U.S. House Oversight Committee where they explain that during that time, Twitter was working with the U.S. government in ways that are not entirely kosher. Capiche? Doing things like deleting a bunch of stories about Hunter Biden's laptop, though admitting in testimony in court that they didn't actually speak to anyone related to it to confirm its authenticity or whether it was real or not. They also censored doctors from Stanford and Harvard for sharing their understanding of this thing, despite them just being interns at Twitter. Again, I don't give a shit what your politics on these last two issues are. I'm just saying that the dude was in charge of Twitter while Twitter was a censorship machine. Homie is 100% a part of big tech, big money. And speaking of big money, the other person they named to their now 3-person board of directors is Larry Summers. And I don't know if I could come up with a more evil and corrupt human being than Larry Summers. There is no one in the world that would be a more concerning person to be in charge of the future of artificial intelligence than Larry Summers. This guy was instrumental in repealing Glass-Steagall, which basically let banks have their way with the world, led directly to the 2008 financial collapse. He was instrumental in deregulating financial institutions, which he profited off of directly. These are all just from his Wikipedia article. Don't need to dig very deep. He earned $2.7 million in speaking fees from major financial institutions following his role in this great 2008 collapse, including Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Citigroup, Merrill Lynch, Lehman Brothers. I mean, they got to say thanks, bro. He had very deep ties to that guy, who I won't read out loud. Like, he was super homies. And in 2013, they couldn't decide whether to make him the chairman of the U.S. Federal Reserve, the one that creates all U.S. currency and rules the world, or if he should become the governor of the Bank of Israel. Literally, he was up for both of those positions at once. He was explicitly recommended by this guy. Not a conflict of interest at all. Oh, but Ian, just because he works in finance and is a really well-paid guy doesn't mean he's evil. There are infinite examples of Larry Summers being evil, but I'll just share one. Back in 1991, he was the head of the World Bank. He sent out this memo that December 12th, 1991. Just between you and me, shouldn't the World Bank be encouraging more migration of the dirty industries to the LDCs, least developed countries? I can think of 3 reasons. Reason number 1, I think the economic logic behind dumping a load of toxic waste in the lowest wage country is impeccable, and we should face up to that. They later were like, oh, it was meant to be sarcastic. It was just a joke. Yeah, just a joke, buddy. That became the economic policy of the countries that you guys ran. Oh my God, and this guy is in charge of the future of, listen, it's not about him being on the board right now. The fact of the matter is that they are transitioning into a new phase for this company, OpenAI, and they're probably going to go public soon and become a giant corporation. And the people on the board right now are going to choose who goes on the board long term. This is just an interim board, but what we have just done is we have elected this guy and this guy to choose who's in charge of OpenAI as we break through the veil of AI. And I genuinely don't think that anyone is realizing how fucked up of a deal that is. Think about the powers that this guy represents and works for. Think about what team he's on. Holy shit, I literally didn't even have time to talk about Sam is in charge of this crypto company. It wants to scan everybody's irises for their cryptocurrency project. But it'll totally be private. Don't worry.
Folks, like he just said at the end, we haven't even touched on Sam Harris Altman's. Remember, Sam, the meaning of Sam is, right? And let me pull this up. The meaning of Sam is powerful like God, of God, and God heard. Son chosen by God. Right? That's the name Sam. What does Harris mean? Harris means you are God himself. Now, what does Altman? Here we go, folks. This is when I have to get off Facebook. What does Altman mean? Altman means alternative to man. Altman means alternative to man, and also means this word. Hang on a second. I'm not going to say it on YouTube. Yes, Sam is from St. Louis. Let me repeat that. Sam Altman is from St. Louis, Missouri, my hometown. Sam Altman went to a certain private high school in St. Louis. The tuition of this high school, yes, Jack Dorsey of Twitter, also from St. Louis. John Burroughs High School, yes, the tuition, all right. So, all right, the tuition at John Burroughs High School is $80,000 a year. $80,000 a year. All right, now, what's so special about St. Louis? What major corporation is headquartered in St. Louis? They build aircrafts. Boeing. All right. Bingo. Boeing and Monsanto are headquartered in St. Louis, Missouri. Boeing and Monsanto. Now, my friends, yes, and Boeing used to be McDonnell Douglas. Well, McDonnell Douglas, the company, was one of the companies created and funded by the American Research and Development Corporation, known as the Military Industrial Complex. My friends, I'm just getting started. All right, Sam Altman's last name also means this word. Altman also means this word. Does anyone know the relevance of this word? Anybody? Anybody? Altman means this full word right here. And this word was the origins of this word. So basically, Sam Altman's name, Sam Harris Altman's name, means I am God. I am like God. I am an alternative to man. I am a Nazi Jew. Anybody? Okay. Okay. All right, let me remember. All right, I have to get off YouTube now because YouTube's gonna flag this. Bingo. I am God of the Nazis. That's what Sam Harris Altman's name means. I am God of the Nazis. Folks, all right, I gotta get off YouTube. Everyone who wants to continue to listen to this, click the link under here and join my private server. Everyone on Rumble also. I'm sorry guys, I can't even put this out on Rumble because Rumble has been under attack for the last 2 weeks. I'm telling you folks, I'm just getting started on this. Wait till we bring up Vannevar Bush and that whole link with a guy named Carl with a K, like Karl Marx, but his name was Carl Taylor Compton. Who was he? Here we go. Now, word from the sponsor. I'm telling you guys right now, the reason Elon Musk is over in Jerusalem and Israel right now is because they're about to shift the internet. And he's over there right now trying to hook up the good guys with his internet provider. Folks, they're getting ready to flip the switch. Get your ass a Liberty laptop now. Word from the sponsor.
Introducing the Liberty Laptop, your gateway to online anonymity. Engineered with your privacy in mind, the Liberty Laptop comes equipped with cutting-edge security features, ensuring that your data remains yours and yours alone. No more worries about your personal information being shared without consent. Say goodbye to prying eyes and third-party snoops. Enjoy your online freedom with advanced privacy settings, protecting your every digital move, all at your fingertips. With the Liberty Laptop, you control what others see and don't see. We customize your privacy settings and let only what matters most to you be shared. No more concerns about unwarranted surveillance. We put the power back in your hands. No unwanted access through the laptop's camera and microphone. Powered by the latest technology, the Liberty laptop ensures performance while respecting your personal boundaries. The Liberty laptop. Your control. Your privacy. Your world. Visit calixsolutions.io to experience true personal freedom today.
All right, now, you guys, we're going so deep into this rabbit hole. Now, what's the difference? What's the and I'm getting off YouTube. This is the last thing I'm saying, but this is a lead-in. This is the lead-in for the next segment on the private server. Click the link under here. What's the difference between human and mankind? They're not the same thing. Human and mankind. Here's a hint. One of them means kind of like man. The other means human being. What's the definition of human being? A person or an animal that was actually born on Earth. What's another name for it? Earthling. What's the difference between mankind and earthling? Mankind is not defined as someone born on Earth. Folks, you want to go down the rabbit hole? Click the private server. Join now. Bye-bye, YouTube and Rumble. Sorry, guys, we're going straight to the private server. Join now. Bye-bye. All right. Now we are, let me switch over to the private server. I'll be right back, guys.